Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com or look for us on Facebook at Voices from the Bench. Greetings and welcome to episode number 62 of Voices from the Bench. My name is Elvis.
My name is Barbara. Saturday afternoon, Elvis and I, 2:15, we're recording.
We are in the month of June finally. It actually starting to feel a little like summer here in Indiana, which is nice.
It's actually 95 here in Florida today. Yeah.
See, that's a good 95. When it's 95 here, I stay indoors all day.
Yeah, well, what's the definition of a good 95?
Ocean breeze.
Okay, I'll take that.
So today we are doing a two-state episode. Barb and I had some amazing times at some regional conferences to record live. You know, the attendees, the speakers, the vendors. We just got done playing a ton from LMT Lab Day Chicago. And we start off this episode with two interviews we did at the DLAT meeting in Texas back in April. And then we finish up with an interview we did in Florida. First off, we have a good friend to us and the industry. Her name is Razi, and most know her because of her amazing personality.
And her first name, of course.
Notice I didn't try to pronounce her last name.
I don't think you need to. God knows you're going to screw it up. So just call her Razi. And we love you, Elvis.
And for those who don't know her, you probably should. She is with the Preat Corporation, which is not only an amazing company, but also a past sponsor of the podcast.
Thank you.
We sit down with Razi to hear her story from small lab to working with Glidewell and to her current position at Preat. And then we move on to CDT and pilot Wade Bognuda, who we talked to in Texas about how he got started in the industry and the importance of being a CDT, and how he's one of the few we've talked to that got the implant specialty.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Good for him.
And then we jump to an interview we did at the FDLA in Florida in May.
Yay!
We got to sit down with past president Tim Stevenson CDT and current president Alex Wünsche CDT to talk about the association, plans for next year's meeting, how they both got involved in paddleboarding?
Very important for us athletes. Keep that paddleboarding in there.
You will see why we wanted to push this interview out this week when we all talk about paddleboarding.
Yep.
So join us as we talk to Razi, Wade, Tim, and Alex. The Dental Laboratory Association of Texas is celebrating its 75th year serving the dental labs in Texas and surrounding states. They would also like to say a howdy to all the CDTs out there listening to this podcast in the month of June. Y'all make dental lab industry great. The DLAT would also like to thank all of their members, attendees, exhibitors, and speakers that made their conference back in April a huge success. They had a 20% increase in attendance over last year. They would also like to thank Voices from the Bench for coming to their conference and showcasing the great members they have in their industry. They look forward to all the interviews that come out of the conference. Heads up, Voices from the Bench, Barb and I, will be there back in 2020 at the DLAT Southwest Conference, March 26th to the 29th. See y'all in Texas next year. Keep up with all the news, updates, and even a map of their amazing laboratory members over at dlat.org. Voices from the Bench. The interview.
My role.
I've made Barbara sound good, so...
Yeah, so
Can you hear
finally,
everything?
yeah,
I do.
can you
Okay,
hear yourself?
can you move it a little closer?
Mm-hmm.
No, to me. No, I'm just kidding. All right, we finally
Yay!
have the one, the only, Razi sitting with us.
Oh,
Razi, say your full name.
Razi Setoodegan.
That's wonderful.
And everybody in the industry knows you because they know you by your first name, Razi. We tried to talk to you in Vegas. So finally.
In Chicago.
Yeah, in Chicago. We finally got her. We rolled her in, and she's here with us. How's the meeting going so far?
Thank you. It's actually great. It has been really good to put some meet some of the faces that I have never seen from
that's how we
Preat
feel.
before. So
Same here.
It's a great meeting. They do a good job here.
They did a great job.
They do a great job.
So tell us all about Preat, please.
I really love working for Preat because, of course, I've always admired Tom Borms, and now Chris is the president, and he's full of positive energy. Him and Ruben have created this amazing team, and I really like it. We have everything implant related for attachments and, of course, for components for fixed parts as well, and now Trilor, and we do design bars. So pretty much a one-stop shop for laboratories' implant needs.
Okay.
And we love working with laboratories. We, of course, work with doctors, too, but Chris is all into laboratories. You know that.
Yeah, he sits on the board with us.
Yes,
at the
he's
NADL. Chris is a great guy.
Great
guy.
He's got to be fun to work with, because every time I see him anywhere, he's just either working out or he's pumped up and he's juiced up and he's just juiced, not juiced. He's not juiced up. But I can imagine working for somebody like that, especially with your energy and that energy together. I bet it's just high end. Love it.
So you were telling us before we hit record, you started in North Carolina.
Yes.
At a lab.
I did.
So for 5 years, what did you do in this?
Well, I am a dental technician. I graduated from Durham Tech in North Carolina.
I didn't know that.
Cool. Yes, I'm also a dental assistant.
Really?
So I kind of
like a triple power.
Just a little bit of background here and there, and then I worked for a dental laboratory, Dental Ceramics, owned by Kendall Lewis in North Carolina. It was a 5-person lab, small, intimate, so we did everything, delivery, model work, whatever needed to be done, in the lab. So it was a great opportunity. I loved it, and I loved him, and he gave me wings to fly, really, because he said, Razi, go ahead, try real estate or try moving to California, because it's what I was going through at the time. But if you don't like it, you always have your job here.
Nice.
Wow.
Which
that's
was,
so cool.
yes. That
kind of like go fly, because he
comforting.
saw. Yeah, that's really neat.
Yeah.
So you're from North Carolina originally, and then you moved to California?
Well, I was born in Shiraz, Iran, and I lived there for the first 10 years of my life. About 10 years old, we moved to North Carolina, and I lived there for 20 years, and then California.
Yeah. I see you on Facebook all the time. You have a big, beautiful family. You guys seem like you're really close. I love Facebook because I keep in touch with everybody.
Thank you.
So what did you do when you went out to California? What took you out there?
Well, I was going to be first of all, I went through a divorce. So I had a daughter that, I was going to raise alone, and my mom lived in California and wanted to help me. So I moved there, and I started looking online for jobs, and I had no idea about Glidewell.
Yeah.
So I started working I Googled and found Glidewell, and I went there, and I was like, wow, this is a laboratory? All I had seen was small 5-person laboratory, which I admire, but then this was like, wow. So I walked in, I took the test, the math test that Jim gives everybody.
Still gives them.
We talked about that before.
You did? So I took the math test, a waxing test, and all of that, and I started working in the education department, writing the test questions for all the videos, training videos that they use to train their own employees in their lab.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. So it was great because I had gone through so many 4-answer questions from the real estate exam.
So you were good at it.
I was good at it. It
was
was fast, and so I was noticed. But then I got my real estate license, and I was about ready to leave there. So leave Glidewell, to go do real estate. Exactly. I wasn't going to be behind the bench or a dental, But then I got my nerves up to go and talk to Jim Glidewell, and I said, I told him, I said, thank you for the opportunity, but I kind of want a little more. And he was going to offer me a management position, but he said, you're so motivated. Any part of my lab I give you, you're going to help make it grow. So I was very excited about that. And then I said, well, we already have the dentist. You already have the dentist market. How about the laboratory market as well? And because we needed to have laboratory work done that we couldn't do as a small lab. So I said, how about that part of the market? And he really liked that. 3 days later, he came down and he said, I want to do that, and I want you to head that part.
That's when you and I met. Now I remember that. Okay.
You came up with the idea of Glidewell doing work with other labs?
Yes.
Wow.
Awesome.
But we already had, at Glidewell, they already had a department that sold to doctors. Like they had Glidewell Direct, which sold Capture and Arcadent products and things like that. And then he also did some work for some laboratories that were his friends in there. And I said, well, I worked for a 5-person lab, but I never heard of Glidewell before. We used to send out our Captech coping to a lab in Florida.
Yeah.
Wow.
So why not let the labs know what we can offer them? And from there on, it started. You know, it was
cool.
in 2003, actually.
Really?
We started to mass, like let the labs know what we can provide. And then I got a chance to work with Jim Shock and Mike Cash, which are, of course, amazing. Jim Glidewell himself. And I always heard these little videos, top 10 reasons people succeed. Of Deepak Chopra and Oprah and all of these gurus. And so I said, Jim, can I have your top 10?
You asked him?
Yes, your top 10 reasons to help laboratories grow. And so me and Mike Cash came up with the idea to put together a newsletter to first advertise to laboratories that way and give his top 10 points. And to this day, when I walk into a laboratory, I use those top 10 points, and it helps our laboratories. And that's why I feel much connected to them, and I can give them a little piece of Jim still.
That's cool.
You want to tell us a couple of the top 10?
Or are they first
secret?
Thing, no, it's a newsletter, and I wish I had kept a copy because it's like over 13 years or so ago that we did that. And we sent it to 12,000 labs that we had in our list at that time. And then, of course, some people, they were against.
Of course.
And
God
it took a little bit
of be positive.
They were against working with a competitor, they would call it. But then, we talked to them, we let them know this is what has helped us succeed, and you can also use it if you like. And so a lot of larger laboratories came in, and then Bruxer came. This was, to begin with, it was just the porcelains we had made for Glidewell.
Yeah.
So we started with that, and I got a chance to work with all the management team of Glidewell, like Rudy Ramirez, Kevin, and Wolfgang, of course, head of education. And so these guys were behind all of this project, and it was great because it made me look very smart to the laboratories. Amazing.
And that's what basically launched you, because I know your name's everywhere. You're amazing. You have a lot of respect in the industry. So then I know all of that. And then how did you hook up with Preat? How did you guys?
With Preat, I had always seen Tom at next door booth to us, and I loved the way he talked to labs and giving them technical background. And I think that if you're going to give a product, you have to know and help them grow and understand the product perfectly. And I always admired that about them. Yeah. And then, of course, Chris and his positive energy and his upbeat energy.
Are they a family business? They are, aren't
they? Yes.
Isn't it? I think we talked about that before. Did their father start it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
We had Chris. Chris was like episode 5 or 6.
Yeah, I remember.
I mean, he was in our early days. He struggled with us. So. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, he's a great person, and I believe that it is got to do with your energy when your business will grow.
Yeah.
And then, people knowing about you and what you offer, of course, and the support team. Yeah. That is the most important part of any business, in my opinion.
What I love about Preat is they sell by education.
Yeah.
They are not, you walk up to that booth and they're not pushing product.
Thank you.
They're teaching you why that product exists, I guess is the best way to put it. And you just
really
learn
is.
it.
Yes.
And I don't think I've been to a conference in a couple years that either Chris or Ruben hasn't been speaking at. And that's huge.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what do you do for them? Do you travel a lot?
Yes, my title is, of course, Director of Customer Success, which is,
I like that.
helping our customers succeed in all the areas possible.
Sounds like you're gifted there, for sure.
Thank you. I'm not as technical as Chris or Ruben or the team is, but I provide as much as I can and then hook them up with, like, Jeff Lopez, who's our designer for bars, or Chris or Ruben. And, but really, I'm not really a salesperson, but what I talk about naturally sells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
So I guess
and the way that you talk about it and all your energy, and you're just so pumped. So I could see where it's a great combination.
Thank you.
So I noticed with social media, you're on a U.S. tour of labs.
I know, that's what I said. Yeah.
You just went to North Carolina, and you went to a bunch of labs.
Yes. Awesome labs.
What are you doing there? Just going and meeting everybody?
And meeting everybody. Like, some of them are already Preat partners, and they are awesome partners of Preat. But, they know certain things that we offer, but they don't know all the more we can be for them.
Yeah.
I just kind of look at their production floor, and I rotate through the labs, just kind of talk to their implant managers or removable managers.
That's what I'd like you to do if you're ever in Florida. I would love for you to come tonight.
I would love to do that.
Talk about that. We have a huge implant department.
I know you do.
Yeah, so
I've seen
you're more than welcome to.
Thank you.
There you go.
There you go. And you.
So right after Indiana.
He's in Chicago. He's in Illinois.
She never remembers where I'm from.
He's in Indiana.
Indiana.
I'd rather go to Tampa if I was you. So that's just saying.
So are you guys going to be in the FDLA? Or are you doing? No, you're probably doing Lab Day West.
Yes, Lab Day West is at the same time.
I know.
Yes,
yeah.
And I think Lab Day, they also have such a big exposure.
Oh yeah. We're going to be at the FDLA in May, so that's my hometown. So we're excited. We're actually taking this on the road, which we really like, because then we get to see people and talk to people instead of normally it's just on the computer. So we're enjoying ourselves. So thank you very much for stopping by.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
Finally.
And I want you guys to know, I personally, plus, of course, everybody else in the industry, appreciates what you guys are doing.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely highlighting who they are and what they are, and kind of bringing us closer together. And hopefully soon, besides the laboratories, you guys can also do the dentist and bring them on in,
Always reaching out to them. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
So it'd be great.
See all the people you're bringing? Now we have like 10 people that are watching us because Razi's here. See?
Oh,
you have good karma.
Thank you.
Bring them all in.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so
You're
much,
awesome.
Razi.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Alpha ready to taxi.
Sweet. Do you have that on
No.
there? Oh,
I didn't hit the button quick enough. I love it.
That's what this reminds me of.
That's what did you used to do that somewhere? Because you
Still
sounded
do.
like a professional.
Still do as a hobby.
Wow.
I went professional for a while. I left the industry, tried to leave the industry, and came back.
Wow. So we're sitting here with Wade Bognuda, CDT, from Joseph Wade. Oh, it's actually your laboratory from Broken Arrow. It says it twice on your badge. That's
Does
where I
it
got
really?
confused. Your name says it twice, so I thought that was your lab.
Used to be laboratory. I closed it.
Wow. So where are you from?
Originally Santa Maria, California.
All right. So cool. Welcome.
So why do you come all the way to Texas for this meeting?
Well, I live in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I moved there about 5 years ago.
Oh,
Awesome.
How far away is that from here?
Jet took us 40 minutes. It's about 4.5 hour drive.
Oh, excellent.
So will you start with what you started for real quick and do what you just did? Because you weren't live. Okay, so we've got to hear Wade announce us. Here we go. Ready, set, have at it.
Good morning, Dallas Ground. Cessna 869er Bravos with information. Victor, ready to copy the clearance.
Yeah, baby. See that? He's a professional. He's going to teach Elvis and I how to talk like that.
What was that, like landing planes or something? Or what was it?
Pre-taxi. You're calling them, telling them you're ready to taxi, and they're going to give you a clearance for departure, and you got to write it down and read it back to them, and then they say, okay, go to the runway.
Well, you mentioned you do that as a hobby. Where? At the airport?
Yeah. You go get your pilot's license, and you can either rent the airplane, continue to rent airplanes, or you can buy one. Or, which I've done both.
Yeah. So you're a pilot?
Yeah.
So you're a dental technician / pilot?
Yeah, I hold a commercial airman certificate.
That
actually.
is cool.
So tell me, what came first? You became a technician or you became a pilot?
I became a technician. I got my private pilot's license in '87 and got my commercial license in 2007.
Wow.
So do you fly yourself around every now and again?
Sometimes, yeah.
I love that. That's got to be so peaceful.
It is. You're detached from the rest of the world temporarily.
Oh, yeah.
It's.
That's how I feel about ceramics. I can just sit down and do a case
too.
and just focus right in, and so peaceful.
I'm a denture technician mainly, but I also do porcelain. And every time I go off and pick up a porcelain brush, I go to my own little world, just almost like flying.
Yep.
Where removable, I've done it for so long, it's all just, I'm on autopilot.
Yeah.
My hands are just doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
Not with porcelain, it's a lot more challenging for me. Even the simplest molar it's just, people don't understand what it takes to make that one little tooth.
Mm-hmm. And it's my peaceful place. It's where I just kind of throw all of my
So where did you
stress.
learn the trade?
Well, I enlisted in the United States Army to become a helicopter pilot and kind of take this job for a little while till you can apply for flight school, and just kept at it. Never got to fly helicopters. Never went to flight school and got out and just kept working in dental labs all these years.
Really? So when did you eventually open up your own? How many labs were you at before that point?
God, that's a good question. We're going back to the 80s.
Excellent.
One or two, and then I worked for a guy, and he got sick with cancer and passed away, so another lab bought him out and took one of the technicians, and I just kind of cobbled together what I need and started working on a closed patio at my parents for a little bit. And then it was
enclosed patio?
Yeah, as my parents.
In California?
Yeah, as my parents. And, back then it was real easy. It was still somewhat of a cottage industry.
Yeah.
And within 3 or 4 months I had more work than I knew what to do with.
Yeah.
It was great. It's changed considerably in the last 35 plus years I've been in. It's a lot different, I'll tell you.
It's a whole different beast.
Yeah, exactly.
How did you come up with the name Broken Arrow? I like it.
That's the city I reside in.
Okay.
Up there. It's just south of Tulsa. It's a suburb of Tulsa.
Oh, you gotta delete that. I'm a dumb. I thought that was the laboratory name.
You're gonna delete the dumb part too?
No,
he's gonna beat me out. They like it when I cuss.
She's funny. No wonder you work with her.
So what are you doing here at the meeting? Are you attending classes or just socializing, or a little bit of both? Because this is a great meeting.
A little bit of both. It was a really good deal to get my 12 hours for my CDT. It was only a couple $100. A plane ticket was $100. It was cheap.
Oh, you didn't fly yourself?
No. No. When you really need to get there, you better ride in the back of a big jet with guys that can get you there. Like today, if I couldn't go home today. The weather's gonna be lousy.
Yeah.
So I like to go out and fly on nice, clear, sunny, warm. Relatively calm days. I don't really like to use it for travel anymore like I used to.
What are you certified in?
Single engine airplanes, little stuff.
Really?
Up to 6 seats, 8 seats actually.
Awesome. How about CDT? What are you CDT in?
Full dentures and implants.
Sweet.
Wow.
You took the implant one?
Yep.
Wow. What'd you think about that? That's a tough one.
You don't have to know much about implants to get it. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, you have to be a pretty good denture technician.
Yeah, I know.
A denture technician to do the
totally.
implants.
And the crown and bridge part is pretty simple. It really is. You custom a button. I think you do full contour wax up. They inspect at number 9 or something. Then you do a cut back for them.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But you have to sit there and I think you have to set a case over a bar or something, if I remember correctly.
Yep, you sure do.
Really?
And if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to pass. Believe me.
Interesting. I
That
had no
is neat.
idea.
I've met very few that have taken that implant exams, but everybody I've talked to says, you have to know a whole lot of things to put it all together to pass that exam.
Yeah, you have to know a little bit of crown and bridge.
Well, congratulations.
I do, but I hadn't done a whole lot of. I haven't done any actually implant single unit substructure, so I had to go with the guys that do it work and kind of give me a quick tune-up on it before I went and took the test. I mean, you know what you need, but you still, because they tell you exactly what you need to do.
Yeah.
You still need to at least practice it once.
Absolutely.
I did. The denture stuff is just a no-brainer.
You don't want the first time you do it is for the test.
No, no. And that's what I did. I did the wax-ups one time, and I don't think I scored really well on those as I did the denture work, because that's not really what I do anyways. But I passed the test.
Yeah.
So
Great.
your lab was mostly removable?
Primarily.
Yeah.
It was a full-service lab, and I would do some crowns, combination cases where it was a crown with an attachment. I'd do those crowns, just to keep it all in-house, because I did the part. I did all the metal work on the partial, too.
Oh, you did
Yeah,
metal
I did
frames,
those straight through the whole thing. Nothing went out.
Wow.
And that was one of the reasons I'd send it out to a Crown and Bridge lab, and they'd have it for 3 weeks and get it back to me the day before it's due on my end. They're all notorious for that. I don't know why, but.
And if your Crown and Bridge doesn't know what that attachment needs to really be doing,
the positioning, even if you send them a matrix or show them, they're still going to put it, most of them, where they think it needs to go, just to, whatever's convenience for them, and it can cause a lot of problems for us down the road.
We don't do a combination case until I sit down with the Crown and Bridge and my removable manager to understand.
Get them to agree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They need to know what the outcome reason is for this distal ERA attachment.
Are you doing a diagnostic setup on those first?
Sometimes.
Yeah, then you matrix that, and you can see inside of the setup where
sometimes
that's
we do.
The best.
Absolutely.
That's really the old school way of doing it.
But you're right. Even within our lab, that Crown and Bridge, they'll hold that case until the very end.
Yes, we all do.
Like,
I'm telling you.
That's not the date.
Yep.
That's the date to go out, not when removable needs
exactly,
it.
Yeah.
You are so right, because that happens in our laboratory
They
as well.
sit on
We're
them.
notorious for that. You got to have a little pressure before you start the case.
It's the only way to get it done.
Yeah, but then you put the screws to everybody else. So.
Yeah, 3 weeks for fixed and a day for removable. That's the pressure.
I know.
That's so true.
They throw all the pressure on the fixed side. I don't get it. You know?
Well, it's not just you. It's both of us, too. So it must be a...
It finally got to me.
Did it?
The buzzing,
it's getting to me, too.
Yeah.
I apologize.
All right, well, thank you for sitting down
thank
for
you
us.
so much, Wade. Appreciate that.
It was fun.
Love talking to you and all of the different things that you're doing, and thanks for stopping by. Our podcast is on Mondays. Elvis is in charge.
Yeah.
And
please check us out.
Yeah.
Am I going to be on it?
Yes.
Eventually.
Really? Cool.
Yeah, not this Monday. Takes a while to get edited and things released, but we'll get you on.
We'll get your info and let you listen to it before it goes live.
Okay, give me a heads up.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's why they pay us the big bucks.
Can you hear?
Really loud.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! I have my raspy late-night voice.
How late
I
was
might have
it?
had a little too much fun last night. Just
no.
saying. I'm not sure.
Let's just say not all clothes were on the whole night.
What?
They were on me.
What?
So here we are, FDLA 2019, with current president and past podcast guest, Tim Stevenson, CDT.
Yes, good morning. But actually, I am now the past president as of yesterday.
Oh, it actually happened?
Alex's shoulder.
It's actually already happened.
Yes.
Gentlemen.
So you guys do it at this meeting. It's not a calendar year.
No, that's our
Well, then,
our
Tim,
meeting
if
year.
you don't mind leaving, we're done with
Okay.
you.
See you guys.
He pulled a funny.
And then we have, current president as of today.
Mm-hmm.
And I only say his name because I had to say it 100 times when we had him on the podcast.
I know.
God, I hope
Alexander Wünsche.
Won't
Almost there. It's Wünsche.
Wünsche.
It is
Yes.
a V, right?
It's a V. Well, it's
You
a
know, we
W,
had that-
but the German W, say it as a V.
You know, we had this
Wünsche.
argument the other day
did
before
not know
I
that.
introed you, and everybody said, no, it's a W. I said, no, in German
It's a W, but
Wünsche.
it's spelled like a V.
job.
Yeah.
Is Danielle here?
Danielle
Yes.
is here
Okay,
too.
good.
She's kind of running
Sure.
around somewhere.
Yep.
Sure. So this is neat. We have past and current here with us. Let's talk about it. So, Tim,
Yes.
you're handing over the power.
Yes. There really isn't that much power.
Don't
per
tell them.
se. You know, we all really deal with this
I
at
basically
an equal
think
Hang
level.
on,
run
what's signing
Florida.
up for here?
So what advice do you have for Alex?
I don't really think I can offer Alex much advice. I mean,
You
he's
can.
so seasoned at lecturing and presenting, and it's really just about ideas. I can't give Alex his ideas. He has his ideas.
Well,
I
that's
had
what we
my
do all the
ideas.
time.
Do you
I
get
And
to
we
hang
share
on
them.
as past president? Do they
Yes.
do that
Yeah,
here?
one more
Okay.
year.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's very helpful when they do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So are you guys already in talks about next year's meeting now? Who, what, when, where, and who you're going to have, and
We
who
are.
your keynotes are?
We
and-
are actually since months already for
I was
next
gonna
year.
say, you
Yeah, we're
planned that
pre-planning
several-
this already.
good for
Yeah,
you guys.
yeah,
So-
the
definitely.
first thing you talked about was having voices from the bench there again, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We would love to have you guys there all the time.
Yeah.
The biggest part. That's important. That's set up. You're good to go.
And then I will handle the torch over next year to the next one.
And we'll have you on again.
Which is Dory Sartari.
Yes,
Dory.
Dory,
Oh,
yes.
Love
good.
Dory.
Yes.
Dory's great.
So
Yeah.
it seems like a really, really well-represented meeting. Are you guys having pretty good numbers? It seems like
You know, I haven't heard the
there's
numbers
a ton of
this-
people here today.
Yeah.
Huge.
Good.
It's a ton of people, and I'm actually very proud to be president, and you're most likely proud to be the outgoing president just because it's actually the biggest, I think it's the biggest
Oh, yeah,
or
it's
largest
the biggest, yes.
regional dental meeting, so
Yeah.
state meeting, and
That's
that's
huge.
really phenomenal. And you see on the representative here, we have all the vendors here. It's busy, people walking around. It's just phenomenal. I really enjoy that. Yeah.
It's something to be proud of when
Yeah.
I think about Florida and how many people come to this meeting. We went to Texas, and that was a pretty large meeting, but, you know, they're just sort of kind of not a lot of them left, and Florida is still so strong.
It's
So
very busy.
Keep it going. Keep it strong. We'll keep coming. I'm sure, You guys are going to have an amazing meeting next year. But so what goes into it? How do you get in? How do you get involved? I know I'm on several boards, but do you just let them know, hey, I want to serve, and you start committee work, and then you move your way up the chairs? Or?
Yes, that's what I did. I was, Morris was close to me, Morris Fucarino. And, I said, Morris, I've thought about this for years, contributing back to what I've taken advantage of for so many years. And, I said, here.
I got called in.
Yes.
I remember that. I just got called in and said, hey, Alex, we want you on the board, and you will just serve. So, all right. I'll do it.
I got all sorts of time. Sure.
Yeah.
I have so much leftover time, so I'll just do it, and that's how it works.
Yeah.
Right?
How often does the board meet?
So I think the good thing is what we do a lot of online meetings, web meetings basically, and conference calls. So we have usually 1 or 2 really live meetings where we fly all in and we meet all together face to face. With evolving technology, which is also affecting dental itself, I think, and we talked about last meeting, I would like to see more kind of a FaceTime or Skype meeting with all together.
Love it.
Because I personally am a strong believer in still having this eye-to-eye conversation with someone. It's very important. I think it's a good stretch, a good compromise to actually having that FaceTime or Skype meeting to see everybody, to be still able to make the meeting, don't leave your office or your home, and you can meet all together. So I would love to, that's kind of maybe my presidency, I would love to kind of form that with Bennett and with Christina and Jillian basically to kind of get some kind of form in that.
Love that.
That would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's a good way to leave your mark. Starting that.
To improve our liquidity of information.
Yes, also to make it easier for board members to serve, because I think there are really quality people out there that could bring a lot of input to us. They say, me right now, we don't have the time. I cannot just afford flying out for that time-wise. And Florida is not a small state. We are very stretched long. So we try to have these meetings spread out that everybody has the advantage being close at some point. So I think that would be definitely something interesting to look into.
That is good.
I think
communication's key.
Yeah.
And I know you and I, Elvis and I agree, because we do a lot of it where we don't see faces, and we love coming to these meetings. We're live, we're talking with our hands, you get to see people and their eyes and their expressions, and it's a completely different dynamic. So I agree. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do with your time now that you're free?
Enjoy probably going to be at the bench.
Go back to work.
We know what he's doing with his time.
And
as a retired president,
teeth.
Right? And what the ideas that Alex brought up were really played into that, because when I got into this, it was back in 2012, and we remember what the economy was then. So I can't say that I was just sitting around twiddling my thumbs. I wasn't nearly as busy. But now, with the inability to find quality technicians at the drop of a hat, we end up, business grows, and you never say no. Well, and, I'm a heck of a lot busier now than I was then, and so it is more of an effort.
Did you have to work 20 hours a day this week just to free yourself up to come to this meeting? Because you hear that all the time at
if you
these
factor
things.
in the weekend,
you hear about it
double
every
thumbs
show.
up, yes.
I got to ask you, are you, sorry, I didn't
go
interrupt
for
you. I have to ask you about something personal. So did you do a 13-mile paddle last weekend? Was it 13, 15, 20?
13. I paddled last Saturday, 13 miles on the Key West Classic, which is a paddleboard race, a very good paddleboard, very important paddleboard race, actually.
For you.
So
how do you feel?
paddles there.
Was your stomach feeling good after? Were you a little sore?
Where was most of the pain?
Yeah, so no pain, no soreness, because I'm really in training right now for the crossing, which is an 80-mile crossing.
Okay, so
and
that was
so I'm fine, but I was definitely pooped afterwards. I was done because I was running out of water the last 3 miles. So,
for those of us that are landlocked, what exactly is paddleboarding? It's a surfboard that you paddle?
So, paddleboarding is literally
you
stand. It's called stand-up paddling or stand-up paddleboarding or stand-up paddle surfing. You have a surfboard type of a board. You stand on and you paddle with a paddle, basically in one direction or in multiple directions.
Sure.
And there are different disciplines. You can go just race boarding, basically. So you have a very long race board, 14 feet long, 26-inch wide, 24-inch wide.
It's a big board.
And it's a big board, and then it's full carbon. It's very light, and it's very fast. And with these boards, you can either go in flat water racing or you can ocean racing. My preferred discipline is ocean racing. I love to be in the ocean, and I love to do the ocean racing. And also there's some chops and some
I was
to surf basically. There's not discipline we call downwinding. So you actually go with the wind and the ocean, surf the ocean waves out there can be up to 6, 8, 10 feet high.
Wow.
And you surf and you paddle relatively fast. You speed up to 20, 25 miles per hour.
So you can catch a wave and surf with it?
You can catch a wave and you kind of surf it down and you paddle again.
Take a break, yeah.
So that's pretty nice. And then and there's stand-up paddle surfing. You do the same thing what you would do in the break, basically in the swell. You just paddle on the waves and surf the waves.
Awesome.
So for me, I like to do all of this basically, and then being in Florida, don't have enough waves usually, so I love to go racing.
Depends on where you are.
Depends where you are. Yeah. But so I do the races basically. So now we're doing right now it's race season, so it starts usually in January, February. And then it's almost every second weekend somewhere a race. So I'm spreading myself right now between speaking and racing.
I was going to say.
And you're about to do an 80-mile?
Yeah, so in June 15, there is the Crossing for a Cure, which is a big event. It's for cystic fibrosis patients.
Sure.
And we kind of try to get donations for these patients. And it's a charity paddle where we paddle from Bimini on the Bahamas back to Florida, Lake Worth. And it's 80 miles.
Right.
We will paddle around 16 to 18 hours nonstop. And so that's what
and
I'm
like
do.
Boats follow you?
Well, I was just going to say, you've got somebody there.
Yeah, so we're building groups of 4 to 5 paddlers, and every group has an escort boat. So we have kind of, you exchange your water pack, your camelback basically with the boat. They fill it up again for you, and you exchange that. You do breaks on a regular basis.
Are you allowed to get off the paddle boat onto a boat?
You're allowed to do anything what you want.
Okay, it's not like a strict triathlon.
This isn't a race.
No, it's not. It is a race, but I'm a recreational crosser, so I'm not racing on that.
Okay.
So I just want to survive, basically.
Do you raise money for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so every paddler has his own foundation, where you kind of crowdfunding, where you raise money. Every paddler has to raise $1,500 for that, and so my foundation called Alex Paddles for Life, and so we want to kind of.
I love that. How do I reach that?
I definitely can send out a link. You even can.
We can
put
it on the podcast.
Yeah, I would
so when is the race? In July?
In June 15.
June.
It's Father's Day weekend.
All right, we'll get this episode
you
out.
Get this out before then.
I'll email you the link.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great cause. That's
Appreciate
great.
That. Awesome.
That's awesome.
Hey, maybe we should consider that for the foundation, huh?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You know, paddleboard race.
I'm all for raising money and exercising.
I would love to organize it, something like this.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Like
Let's
the
do
foundation
it. Yeah.
paddle boat. I'm there.
I'll swim.
I got so much upper body.
Let's do that. That's awesome.
It's all here. It's core work.
Core work.
Yes. And balance.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, what are your plans as president? What are you looking to do?
Yeah, what are you
going
to do to us, man?
Well, let's see. Free food for everybody.
I like it. That's why I come.
So, for me, when I joined the board, I mean, everybody knows education is for me very, very important.
Yeah.
And I think now as a president, I want to focus really on getting education closer to us, to our technicians in Florida, having very good educators on that meeting. That was always kind of my focus point, basically, and less commercialization, less advertising
we try
in
every
lectures,
year to
basically.
keep
Try that.
Sometimes it creeps in there.
It's
hard
kind
to
of least expect it.
It's hard, But also, I want to kind of tie the knot more between clinicians and technicians. That's kind of also one of my concepts, basically. I like to be able to talk together shop. I like to see here, for example, today we had Dr. Gonzaga here as a periopros on a lecture. He did a fantastic job. I hosted his course, and he's a good friend of mine. And I would like to see more of that. So I have some suggestions for next year already in my mind. Building already for next year, and I like to see team lectures. I like to see team education that actually in the audience are a mixed group of clinicians and technicians.
Do you guys have a lot of dentists?
We do have dentists here and there, but not a lot. So we would like to see more.
Absolutely.
Like to see more.
I agree. I think that's a huge thing that we could bring in.
I'm on the FACD board, which is Florida Academy, and they'd like to see more technicians. So there's got to be a way where we can put some synergy into both of those.
Absolutely, yeah.
One price for both.
Because they asked me, he said, when you go, how do you get more technicians involved in the FACD?
Yeah.
And basically, FDLA is looking for
more
clinicians for FDLA. So there could be some talks there. If there
is interaction already, but I would like to intensify that. That would be definitely something I would love to do more.
Yeah.
Even I would love to attend the meeting anyway. I was there once or twice already, so I like the meeting. It's a great meeting.
Yep.
I think also just to discuss how we can intensify that to get it attracted for technicians and vice versa.
Maybe we could do a podcast with both of the presidents, because Dr. Doan told me when I come here to try to solicit more technicians and get them involved. So I think
that would be
great.
That would be
I think we need to ask the opposite question.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I love it. Love it.
All right,
cool.
I'll set that up.
Yeah.
Cool.
What great plans are being made right
now. We're already very creative here.
Awesome.
That is great.
Cool.
Well, hey, thanks for sitting down with us, guys.
Well, thank you for having us. This is fantastic.
This is my first year here, and I think it's a great meeting. I was able to catch a couple of the talks yesterday. It was great.
Awesome.
Great content.
Great content.
Good to know.
Great content.
Yep.
I mean, it was a great lineup.
Technician-driven. And
it's good
the
stuff.
event last night was awesome. The food was great.
That
the
was
alcohol
nice.
was good. The gambling. It's just a lot of fun. It's a great meeting.
Yeah, the gambling stuff is always fun. You know, it gets everybody involved.
I actually did it, and it was fun. I was like, all right, I can do this. I know you guys like to as well. No? You're like,
that would be one of my projects as a president, not doing the gambling anymore. Everybody hates you for that, but I want to do something else.
You want to find something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know
well,
what? We have to have diversity.
I know.
Yeah, something where people come together and hang out. I mean, we could dance, do a white party.
Karaoke.
Yeah.
I like the white party, actually. Yeah, that's cool.
What's a white party?
I was going to ask
everybody wears white.
Elvis.
Everyone wears white.
And you dance and you hang out, and it's fun.
Now I got to go
elegance.
shopping. I don't have white clothes.
Yeah, you and I, Elvis.
You're in Orlando. Orlando's the place to shop.
Exactly.
People don't wear white in Indiana.
No.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you again for having us here.
Yeah,
thank
you.
Have a great meeting.
We'll talk to you
Barbara.
soon.
Thank you for your service.
Yes, Tim. Thank you.
All right.
A huge thank you to Razi, Wade, Tim, and Alex for sitting down with us in Texas and Florida. We genuinely really enjoy, Elvis and I, as the face-to-face interviews and being able to sit down and talk to people one-on-one versus the way we were doing it, which was just computer. So thank you guys. You are amazing. Be sure to check out this episode's notes on our webpage for a link to learn more about Alex's amazing 80-mile paddle boating trip, which is June 15th, and he's raising money for Crossing for a Cure, which is a great cause. It's pretty awesome doing an 80-mile anything, so good luck, Alex. From $1 to $1,000, let's raise some money for a great cause. Every week we celebrate dental technicians, but June is actually CDT and Dental Technician Appreciation Month, which I've seen on LMT. I've seen it on NADL. Everybody's talking about it. So it's a big, huge month for us. And we, Elvis and I, wanted to give our listeners a chance to show their appreciation. So my good friend Elvis sent out an iMessenger at 2 a.m. in some states, 5 a.m. in mine, asking those of us that we know if they could nominate or talk about a CDT that they appreciate.
Hello, this is Joe, Steve, and Rachel Young of Young Dental Laboratory in Philadelphia. Just wanted to express our gratitude to our father and father-in-law, Michael Young, for CDT Appreciation Month. Dad has been instrumental as the foundation of our family business, continuing to encourage and inspire us to learn and grow. Thank you for all you do. We love you, Dad.
Hi, Elvis and Barb. Thanks for recognizing Dental Technicians Month. My name is Tony Prestipino, and I'm with Artifacts Dental Laboratory in Alexandria, Virginia. I would like to thank my employees. Without them, I couldn't afford to live the lifestyle that I lead and give back to the industry the way that I do. These individuals have been through a lot this year. We have gone through a complete renovation and expansion and got new equipment and materials that they've had the steep learning curve to use them. And they handle this like real pros. My clients get the benefit of having a true team that cares. So thank you, Kevin Labarge, Ken Etzler, Alex Escobar, Kathleen Prestipino, Janos Pinkowski, Shad Irondush, Sandy Hogue, Ashley Bishop, Alan Bishop, Ricky Hernandez, Julio Munoz, Raul Hernandez, and Bob Latos. I would also like to thank my brother, David Prestipino. He is the best technician that I know, and I learned everything that I know from him. Without his tutelage, I would have never had the confidence to do what I do today. And my older brother, Vincent, is a prosthodontist in Bethesda, Maryland. He constantly pushes me to be better, and he allows me to understand dentistry in a way that no other client can do. I appreciate all that you do, and thanks for everything.
This is Sean Nowak, president of Nowak Dental Supplies. June is CDT and Dental Technician Appreciation Month. Here at Nowak Dental, we love all CDTs.
Hey, this is Amanda.
And Jeremiah.
From Inverness Dental Arts, and we would just like to say a big thank you to Step Toothmaster Bay from CDI Science, that's his lab. Elvis from Voices from the Bench with Barbara asked for influential dental technicians in our lives, and I think we've pretty much told everybody that Step moved us to tears in Chicago and sent us on a different path.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a very pivotal point in our lives, and it just seemed like he was turning things for us in a way that brought perspective into our lives a little bit more in focus. So it's definitely a pivotal point in our lives that we'll never forget, and we'll always be grateful to Step for doing that and being a part of our lives ever since then. And he's a wonderful man and a great technician and someone that we're very proud to know.
We can say we truly appreciate and thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Steve Zara from Zara Dental Lab in Northville, Michigan. I'd like to recognize two people. The first one is Rich Kabilis of RK Dental in Naperville, Illinois. He is absolutely the world's greatest orthodontic lab technician. Thank you for all the lessons. The second person is my co-owner, Laura Zara. Without her, there would be no lab business. She helps me every day in making all these decisions and running the business and keeping our family healthy and awesome. Thank you very much, Laura. I love you.
Hello, my name is Rachel Uoma with the National Association of Dental Laboratories, the National Board for Certification in Dental Laboratory Technology, and the Foundation for Dental Laboratory Technology here in Tallahassee, Florida. And I just want to thank all our wonderful CDTs, RGs, CDLs, DOMIS labs, and dental technicians for their passion and dedication. I myself am a certified association executive, which is the credential for those that work with associations. And as such, I understand firsthand the commitment it takes to earn and maintain a voluntary certification. So congratulations to all our CDTs, RGs, CDLs, and DOMIS labs out there. I am so proud to serve our great community. Thank you for taking pride in yourselves in this great profession and for elevating patient care and the standards in dentistry. This month, we celebrate you.
So we can't thank enough for those that took the time to send us an audio file. There's still 3 episodes this month, so if you have a dental technician in your life that you want to acknowledge and thank, please record yourself on your phone or your computer and email it to us at info@voicesfromthebench.com. Let's show our love to our people who make this industry great. And thank you for those that sent in.
All right, everybody, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week. Have a good one.
Welcome to June. A little bit slower, so enjoy it. Sorry, guys, this is take 12.